There we go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening if you're watching the video. We're sitting here right now, Saturday morning, getting ready for training, and one of our very own agents, Tanisha, asked a really good question that I'm going to go ahead and address. And it's, what are some of the solutions that you can talk to business owners about in reference to the line of work that we do? And that's a very good question. To be honest with you, Tanisha, I built when I was in wealth management, I targeted heavily small business owners. I used a tool called Reference USA. You can get free access to that website if you have a library card or a university. Like if someone that goes to college and they have a student ID card, you can get access to that account for free, right? Gulf Coast University is really close to where I worked at when I was at Northwestern Mutual. And so I just found an intern that was going to FGCU, and they loaned me their student ID card, and I was able to get access to a Reference USA. Reference USA, so you guys know, is nothing more than a database. It just collects data and you put in the filters, right, for business owners. So you can pull up all the plumbers or all the electricians or all the whatever business owners, whatever size, you can create all kinds of filters. And I would target those individuals. Why? Because when you acquire the business relationship, you also get a chance to acquire the personal relationships, and it creates like this huge kind of a spider web effect. Okay. How did I approach business owners? A couple ways. Number one, I would talk to them about what's called discriminatory plans. Okay, that's a very clutch word to use to business owners. They're curious. What the heck is a discriminatory plan? You tell them, well, listen, if you set up a 401k for yourself, you have to offer to your employees. You've got to actually make a public announcement that this 401k exists, and if someone chooses to participate, then you've got to offer it to them. The employer then might say, well, I don't have to give them a match. You're right, but you got to pay the administration behind it, and 401ks are pretty costly from an administrative standpoint, right? You might want to set up a SEP IRA. A SEP IRA is a smaller version of a 401k, but it does require contributions to employees if the employees decide to participate. And again, if you set one of those up for yourself, you have to offer it to the employees. So what if I could show you a retirement plan that, number one, you don't have to announce it to your employees. You could do it just for yourself. It could be an executive bonus plan for you, the rest of the owners of the company, maybe the leadership team, maybe a specific person, a key employee within the company. Hang on one second, my dogs are like right here. Go. I gotta tell you, if I could work with dogs every day, I'd love it. I love dogs more than I love people. I'm just playing. I love you guys as well too. I just love my dogs as well too. They're freaking amazing. Anyways, I just got a new dog and I'm freaking pumped up about him. He's going through that, get into trouble, get everywhere thing, and sleeps all the time. But then when he wakes up, he's a little terror. I'm going through that right now. And he's literally under my chair right now. But then my big dog always wants to be next to him, so he's under here as well too. So I apologize if you hear the clinging of the necklace. Let me actually take my boxers off. Anyways, discriminatory plans. I would talk a lot about that. What if I could show you a plan that you can discriminate, meaning you can offer it for yourself, the owners of the company, and anybody that you exclusively want to invite to be a part of this program without you having to ever once disclose it to your employees? Would that be of benefit to you? Yes, that would. What if you can attach that benefit to a key employee that you wanted to make sure you retained? Someone that, you're worried that maybe a competitor is going to take, and that person is so pivotal to the business, you want to offer them some type of a bonus that if they serve X amount of time, they can, earn this bonus. That way, when a competitor comes to knock on their door and offer them an extra $1 an hour or whatever, your employee is more enticed to say no because of what he knows he's getting on the back end. Would that be of interest to you? Well, yes, it would be. What if I could make that vehicle something that is completely and utterly tax-free when you hit retirement? You see, Mr. Business Owner, right now, you have a lot of tax shelters being a business owner. You write off pretty much everything. I'm sure you do. But when you retire and you sell your business, you lost, that tax shelter. Your house is probably paid. You lost that tax shelter. Your kids are probably grown. You lost that tax shelter. So you're fully exposed to Uncle Sam's wrath. What if the money that I can help you grow now could be completely tax-free later? And Mr. Business Owner, since you took this path towards entrepreneurship, I'm sure it's because you wanted to be successful. You didn't want to be average Joe. You didn't want to just make $50,000, $60,000 a year. You probably wanted to make 100, 200, 250, 300,000, which probably means you want to retire a lot sooner than 59 or 60 or 65, like that average American. You probably want to retire in your 50s, right? What if I can make this vehicle accessible to you before retirement age, according to what the government declares is retirement age, and you don't got to pay penalties on this money? Would that make sense to you, Mr. Client? Well, yes, it would, right? Now, Mr. Client, what if this retirement account was also creditor protected? You know that you have a business name on the front of your door. That business name automatically puts a target on you, because what do most employers have when they have a business name? They have what's called a general liability insurance policy, right? And it's very easy for anybody to sue a general liability policy because they know the insurance company has money, even though maybe the business owner might not have as much liquid. So what if I could protect your assets so that they were creditor protected? So in the event you get sued personally because you got into an unfortunate car accident, or you get sued commercially, your business gets sued, these dollars are protected. What if I could show you something like that? Right? Would that be something that made sense? Right? I mean, ask yourself, and let me get as many people on camera as possible, because I kind of want to ask these questions, and I want to see what your facial expressions are when I ask you if you were the business owner that had a successful business, that all of a sudden, this is being asked to. Let me get as many people on camera as I possibly can. I mean, if I ask you those questions and you were a business owner that had a successful business, would these types of solutions, be of value to you? See what I'm saying? That's the kind of way you want to ask it. See, when I'm presenting a product to somebody, whether it's personal or business, I'm talking about the benefits of the product, and I'm getting them to say yes. I want them in yes mentality. You get them to do this enough times, when you ask for the close, their head is going to automatically go like this as well. It's like they've already been trained to say yes, 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 yes. And if they say no, they recognize that it's out of alignment with what they've already said yes to. Yes, this would benefit me. Yes, this would benefit me. Yes, that would benefit me. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so let's take action. No, wait, what? You just said yes to all of these things, right? So I ask those types of questions. Those are the types of solutions I talk to business owners about. Now, Tanisha said, what products, right? Come on. Go this way. So what product? Ruby was laughing. What products? That particular product I'm talking about, just so you know, it's called a deferred compensation plan. And it's funded, some people know it as an executive comp plan, it's the same thing. Executive comp plans, deferred comp plans. It's funded through a permanent insurance policy. It could be a whole life, it could be an IUL. It could be either or, right? All it is, it's an account, right? It's an IUL that's overfunded, that's growing cash accumulation, but because it doesn't abide by the guidelines of what's considered a qualified retirement plan, they don't have to disclose it to any of their employees. They just, quite frankly, don't have to. They don't have to do any of that stuff. Hang on, one second. There we go. Sorry. So that's the type of plan. That's how you can structure an IUL, right? Now, what other things can you talk to business owners about? If the business is owned by two people, watch this. Let me use this hypothetically, right? Let's pretend that Rubiel and I own a business together, right? We own an empanada business, a Colombian empanada business, right? 50-50 owners. It's successful. We've got 4 different stores. It's making, $500,000 a year, right? Rubiel, nod your head. Are you married? He is. Let's say hypothetically, I'm also married to Sandra. We're married, right? The laws of ownership of property is very different when you're married. And so this is watch this part. Let's say I'm pivotal to the business. Rubiel is pivotal to the business. If I pass away, Ever, go ahead and mute yourself, bud. There you go. I just muted you for you. If I pass away, if Howard says congratulations. If I pass away, right? Who becomes business partners with Rubiel? Right? Sandra would. Right? If Rubiel passes away,
Sandra.
Exactly. If Rubiel passes away, who becomes business partners with me? Rubiel's wife. Right? Maybe I don't want to be business partner with his wife. Maybe Rubiel doesn't want to be business partner with Sandra. Why? No, nothing against the person, but maybe they don't know nothing about this business. They don't know nothing about it, right? So let's just say hypothetically that this business is cash flow and generating income like crazy, but it requires two people. Now all of a sudden Rubiel's gone, and I tell the wife, I'm so sorry that Rubiel's gone. I want to buy your portion out. She doesn't have to. She doesn't have to. She can say, no, I'm not going to sell it. It's making income. And I could say, well, wait a minute, you're not doing anything for that income at all. She's like, I don't care, I'm 50% owner. You gotta pay me 50% no matter what. So what's the solution to that? It's called a buy-sell agreement. It's a contractual agreement that says, listen, you and I, Rubiel, we are going to sign an agreement that says if any one of us pass away, one person is obligated to buy, another person is obligated to sell. So in the scenario of Rubiel passes away, I'm obligated to buy his shares. His estate, AKA his wife, is obligated to sell that 50% share to me. And there's already been a formula done. It's already in the buy-sell agreement. There's a dollar amount. There's a dollar amount, or there's a formula to figure out the dollar amount already in place. Now, what funds the buy-sell agreement? Anybody know? A life insurance policy.
The business.
Oh. A life insurance policy funds it, right? What kind of life insurance? It could be any. It could be a term insurance policy. It could be a GUL. It could be an IUL, right? Now, the way you want to structure those are through what's called a cross purchase, which means I own Rubiel's insurance policy. Rubiel owns the insurance policy on me. So I own his policy. The business is making payments because I'm the owner of his policy. I control the beneficiary. He owns a policy on me, and because he owns a policy on me, he controls the beneficiary. You might say, well, wait a minute, how could somebody own insurance on somebody else? Because we have a common interest. He's not a stranger. We're in business together. There's a common interest there. Because there's a common interest there, I have a value in his life. He has a value in my life. There could be ownership. That's why I can own something on him. He can own something on me. Those are the types of conversations I'm having with business owners. So Tanisha, you're going to speak on stage or in some type of fashion to business owners. You want to tell them, listen, I specialize in working with business owners and business executives, designing exclusive plans for those top tier business owners. Plans that allow them to grow money tax-free, plans that allow them to be creditor protected, plans that allow them to discriminate and only do it for themselves and not have to do it for their employees. Plans that allow them to protect the legacy if something was to happen to one of the business owners and they passed away. That's my specialty. That's the area that I work in. I work with those types of business owners, right? Now for the business itself, can I protect the business? Of course I can. There's a lot of solutions. Believe it or not, one solution that a lot of business owners need to take part in, okay? It's business disability insurance. Not disability insurance for the individual, but business disability. Meaning if one of the business owners loses their ability to work, what are the business expenses that could be replaced by the insurance so that the business doesn't suffer while the business owner is not working? For example, I'm actually looking to some of this, to be honest with you. I've got people on my payroll, right? And if I'm unable to work, income is going to decrease. But I still want to protect my employees. I still want to protect my fixed expenses that I have no matter what, like the automation of running this business. That stuff has a cost every single month. There's a big check that I have to write every single month so that the automation continues, right? A lot of the resources that we have. My payroll, needs to continue. Otherwise, their livelihood is affected. I could pick up a business disability insurance policy that says if I'm unable to work, me as the business owner, these expenses are still going to be covered. So salaries still get paid. If I own a building, the mortgage still gets paid. If I rent the building, the rent still gets paid. Any expenses that are going to be there, no matter how busy or not busy the business is could be replaced with this type of insurance. It's called business disability insurance. It replaces the business expenses. That's something you can offer. You can offer employees, now you can offer employees a couple different options. You can offer employees disability insurance, right? Long-term and short-term. You can offer them group life insurance. All of those things are tax write-offs to the business owners. You can offer them retirement plans like IRAs and 401ks and 7. You can offer them all that stuff. Those are the conversations you want to have with business owners. Those are the solutions that you bring to the table. Does that make sense, Tanisha? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, and then for the capital, like if they were looking for capital for their business, they could use what we were talking about before, the Velocity and Infinite Banking as a means for capital for their business. And then what about using the collateral, doing like a collateral loan through a life insurance policy? That's also an option, correct?
Yeah, you're talking about a couple different things, right? Collateral loans means you're using the life insurance as collateral, so you're tapping into the cash. That's not more of a business strategy. That's more like life settlements. That's like a 65-year-old who has a permanent insurance policy. He wants to tap into some of that money, so he collateralizes the loan, gives ownership to, he collateralizes the insurance policy, gives ownership to that policy to some type of an investment firm, and they give him a cash out. And then the investment company receives a death benefit when the person passes away. That's one thing. Collateral loans for businesses is like, I just bought, like real estate investors have to do collateralized loans, have collateralized insurances, meaning I bought this piece of real estate, but the lender is requiring that real estate that the business owner be insured to and assign the death benefit to the loan in the event something happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you cut out. So is it correct in saying like they could get like a life insurance policy to be the collateral for a loan for like with the bank? Is that what you said? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, so like let's say I'm a real estate investor, and I buy a real estate property. It's not my primary, it's an investment property. The lender, the bank loaning me the money, might say to me, Tony, if you pass away, we need this mortgage to be paid off. So I need you to get a life insurance policy on yourself. And I need you to assign the money to the loan so that the loan gets paid off. That's called a collateral assignment. So the collateral, the house, has been assigned a portion of this benefit if I pass away. I wouldn't be talking about that to business owners. That's something that a bank would require of a business owner. And then therefore, you might want to bring it up. Hey, I can help you with your lending by offering collateral assignment with insurance if your lender requires it. We can help you with that. But the only reason a business owner would get that is because the lender is requiring it, not because the business owner is looking for it. Does that make sense? If you think about,
yes, thank you.
If you think about buy-sell agreements, that is like the best collateral assignment to a business owner, because I want to protect my business partner and the financial value he brings to my business. So I'm going to put insurance on him and he's going to put insurance on me, right? That's kind of the same concept, right? Because my business partner is that pivotal to the success of my business. Some people are that valuable. Like I've got three really good friends, went to college with them up in the Jacksonville area. They run a company called Jacksonville Wealth Builders. One person runs the property management, another person runs the real estate side of the business, another person is the investor. All three of those departments dynamically work together for the success of the operation. If one of them fails, then all of them are going to struggle. And so they all have insurance on each other in a buy-sell type fashion to protect the business, because they need all three of those businesses operating, and each one of them is a specialist in their own department, so to speak. So that's the kind of conversations that I typically have with business owners. Now, once you have the business owners as clients, you can then sit with each of the business owners, and have a personal conversation. We've talked about your business. Now let's talk about your personal assets, your personal insurance needs. Where your business partners are insured, but let's make sure now that your spouse has life insurance as well, because yes, she's inheriting the business, but is there something else that you want to leave behind? Is college important? Is replacement of income important? Paying off the mortgage of the house, is that important? Let's talk about your personal insurance needs, your personal retirement goals, your personal college savings plans. Let's talk about those as well. So you made him a client as a business, now you make him a client as individuals. Does that make sense? Good. I like working with business owners. Now, if you start working with large scale business owners, for example, I got in with Marriott's a franchise, right? The Hotel Marriott. You think, oh, it's a huge company. It is. It's an enormous company, but it's franchise. And when it's franchise, that means that each individual location has an individual business owner. There's a business owner, right? Just like kind of like you guys. You guys are all individual business owners. Some of you could run $1 million operation. Some of you could run a $500,000 operation. Some of you could run a $50,000 operation, right? But you have your own business. We're partnered all together, right? But that's kind of how a franchise works. So I met with the owner of a Marriott here in town, and I was able to make him a client. And because he runs a big hotel, his hotel has what? Huge benefit packages for their employees. Now, the benefit packages was ran by the corporate, so he had no control over it, but he had influence over the employees. So what he allowed me to do, he allowed me for a 3-week period to schedule employees to meet me in a private office for lunch. So I catered lunch, right? His hotel, I think it had somewhere around 150 employees. It was a big hotel. It wasn't a little Marriott. It was a big one. It was a resort. And so what I did was for 3 weeks, every day for lunch, I would come around 12 o'clock and I'd bring sandwiches and drinks or whatever with me, or salads with me. I mean, I changed it up. And I would take, these 10 people with me, and then these 10 people with me, and then these 10 people with me. So every day I was taking like 10 guys during their lunch break, and they would meet me in a private office that he put me in, a little conference room that he put me in. They'd be eating, and while they'd be eating, I'd be explaining to them some of the services that I offer. And when they came in, what I would do is I'd have a clipboard, and they would have to sign in. Name, phone number, name, phone number, name, phone number, right? And it gave me a window, right, while they're eating lunch to just kind of talk to them. These are the services that I offer. These are the things that I do for people. I'm helping out the company, but I also would like to make sure I can help you personally, right? These are the things that I offer to people personally. Health insurance, life insurance, retirement plans, this, that. I mean, I talked about, a list of things. It was almost like instead of a corporate overview, it was almost like a product overview. This is what we do from a product standpoint, right? And if anybody here has any interest, your employer has graciously offered our services to you at zero cost, right? It's an HR benefit is what I called it. And then I would just do one-on-one consultations with each of them and get plans in place. And sometimes, 10 people there, 5 of them wanted to talk. Sometimes 10 people there, none of them wanted to talk. Sometimes one person wanted to talk. But I can tell you this, I did that for 3 weeks. I generated 3 months worth of business. I was busy for 3 months from just those 3 weeks worth of meeting with people. And $85,000 worth of commissions was made because of that. Right? So why was that valuable to me? Is because I went after the business owner, the top head guy, made him a client. Then I introduced my services and asked him if he'd be willing to give me an opportunity to work with the employees. And he was all about financial literacy, financial education. So he looked at it like, man, this is a great benefit, a great resource that I'm going to provide them at zero cost. So if you have access to business owners like that, that's clutch. That's big opportunity, right? Let me see if she's Carlise. Are you on? Carlise, can you unmute yourself if you can hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm doing well. Carlise, I don't know if you remember the name. Maritza was working a list of businesses that were closing their doors. Do you remember the name of that list? It was a website, I think.
No, I don't. I know what you're talking about, though. I don't remember the name.
I'll remember it. I'll remember. If anybody remembers, let me explain what it is. There's a list. It's a website you go to where you can get a list of all the businesses that are scheduled to close down. And they've already publicly announced that they're closing. Oh, excuse me. They've already publicly announced that they're closing their doors, and they have to tell their employees, hey, this is, this is the deadline. And what you get an opportunity to do is you can reach out to those business owners and say, hey, listen, I know you've got a scheduled closing. I'd love to extend some of my resources to you to allow your employees to have a smooth transition. Well, what is it that you do? Well, from a human resources standpoint, right? That's the angle that we would go in. From a human resources standpoint, we can sit with your employees during their lunch break, explain to them what options they have about moving their insurances, their health insurance, their life insurance, their disability insurance, but also more importantly, their qualified 401k plans. Because when you close your doors, they're going to have to move that money over. So we can show them a way to do that so that there's a smooth transition. I know that I'm sure you're sad that your employee, your staff, your team is about to become unemployed, and I'm sure they're worried, they're frantically looking for work. This obstacle of having to move their assets could also be a burden to them that we can help alleviate. And so that's the that's an opportunity, right? And again, that's a public list, but you just got to search out. I can't remember the freaking name of that. Let me see if there's anybody. Howard, do you remember the name of that? I talked about it a little bit a while ago. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, I've got it written down. But there's a phenomenal resource out there that people can use to find it. It's called Google.
Yes, I know, Google. I'm just trying to remember the name of that list. Oh my God, I'll catch it. I have it somewhere here in my notes. I'll find it. Anyways, but yeah, that's business owner type conversations. Business owners, and business owners. Anybody have any questions thus far that I've mentioned? Anything that has to do with small businesses, resources, solutions, anything like that? Personally, I'll tell you right now, and I think I'm going to start a campaign around this. I think we need to train more on disability insurance. Disability insurance and business owners go perfect. I mean, they go, remember, a business owner's biggest asset is their business. A business owner's baby is their business. It really is. It's their pride and joy. It's their, like, I'm not even going to lie to you. I tell you this from experience. Like, outside of my investments that I have, which I'm looking fairly soon to get into a couple other investments myself. But if I looked at everything, my biggest investment where I've even put in the most money and I get the biggest return is within my business. And it's my baby. Outside of my 2 children, like, this is my baby. And I'm sure other business owners feel the same way. When a business owner can generate their own income and they're making a 6-figure income and they really have that chip on their shoulder, like, man, I'm making my own income. Disability insurance is gold to them, because all I'm literally saying to them is, I'm going, listen, if I could put a machine in front of you right now, and this machine spits out $100 bills every minute, every single minute, but this machine could rust if you leave it out in the open weather. This machine could get stolen if people find out about it. This machine things can happen. This machine is, fragile. Wouldn't you protect this machine against everything possible? Honestly, ask yourself that question. Would you protect that machine against any risk? You get everything on it, and you could. You get rust insurance, theft insurance. You get all kinds of stuff for it. Well, that machine is you, your business. That machine is you and your business. So let's be honest, you're making this kind of income because of your business. Now, what if you become disabled and you're not able to operate your business? We need to replace it. Right? I had a long night last night. I'm sorry, guys. Right? We need to replace it. Simple as that. So that's where you start talking about disability insurance. And then you say, listen, well, let's replace your paycheck, but let's also replace your business expenses, because those are 2 different types of disability insurances that we need to replace. There's your business expenses, and then there's your paycheck. Here's another fact. Most business owners write off 90% of their income. So the business owner that's generating $250,000, $500,000 worth of income, I guarantee you in their tax returns, a $500,000 earner in their tax returns is making $125,000. A 6-figure earner on their tax returns is only making $35,000, $40,000, because they write so many things off, right? And it's not that they're hiding it. That's one of the benefits of being a business owner. You could write off. I write off cell phone, electronics, internet bill, you know what I mean? Like you write everything off. All of that stuff's a business expense. And so, when you just put disability insurance on them, and that disability insurance only replaces that little itty bitty income that they are reporting with the government, that's nowhere near enough. You need to get business disability to replace all these other expenses. That's really where the bulk of their income is. That's where the bulk of it is. Guys, do you know that you could write your children an annual salary and write that off as a business expense? And then you can use that salary. Don't be thinking, oh, I'm not gonna give my kids all this money for them to blow on toys. No, that salary that you're giving them is what you could use to cover your expenses to raise them, right? The school supplies, the food, the furniture you gotta buy, the clothing you gotta buy them, you know what I mean? The bill, the utility bills you gotta pay. Like you can write it off as a salary to them. And there's limits to it and so on and so forth. Talk to your accountant about it. But those are some of the biggest things that from a tax standpoint that people can take advantage of. I think Tanisha's onto something when it comes to, business owners. If you notice the last couple of trainings that I've done, I've given you guys ideas. That's all I'm giving you right now is ideas and strategies to get into markets. So either you're buying leads, which in my opinion, if I was a brand new agent in today's world, I'd be buying exclusive leads, age leads, that combo, and I would be on Google trying to get into a brand new market. I'd be doing all three. And then the fourth one that I would be doing, and it depends on your belief system in today's world because of COVID-19 and the pandemic, but the fourth one that I'd be doing is networking events, right? Like if you're that person that you're comfortable with that, right? You don't mind the whole social distancing, whatever, and you don't mind going out. Like I don't mind it. That's just me. I have my own, views on everything that's going on. I would be doing all four. Honestly, I'd be doing all four. I'd be going to networking events. I'd be on Google like crazy, trying to figure out what networking events are going on a weekly basis in my local town. Like I live in Collier County, but there's two other counties north of me that aren't that far away, Lee County and Charlotte, right? So I would be figuring out, when are the luncheons for the Chamber of Commerce for Collier County, for Lee County, for Port Charlotte County, right? There's a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. There's 4 chambers, 5 chambers, Cape Coral, 5 chambers. I'd go to every one of their luncheons, every one of them. I would join a BNI group, a business networking group, right? They have morning breakfasts. I joined that. I'd look online to see, like I would be using Meetup, you know what I mean? Eventbrite, and finding business events. New businesses are open. Every time a business opens, they love to do ribbon cuttings. And they typically do like an after 5, come by, drink a glass of wine, celebrate. I'd be doing that like crazy. I'd be doing that. Why? It's free. And it exposes you to new markets. It exposes you to people. It forces you to shake hands with new people. Sometimes the people that you meet that go to the event are the people that could become clients of yours or referral sources. Genuinely, it could become that because you met them at a networking event and shook their hand and became friends with them. You know what I'm saying? I'd be doing that. I'd be buying aged leads and I'd be pushing them through the Jarvis system like crazy. And if I had a kid that was 14 years or older that understood technology, I'd be plugging them into Jarvis now, especially during the summertime. And I'd have them be the ones that are boom, 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 communicating, texting back and forth with Jarvis, back and forth while you're working the business. I'd be doing that. I'd be buying exclusive leads as well. I'd let Jarvis rock the age leads. I'd let the exclusive leads be the leads that make up my phone zones. I'd be doing those 3. And then the fourth thing that I'd be doing is I'd be canvassing to create my own list, the way I've been teaching you guys recently. Pick what you want. You want business owners? Reference USA. I just did a training on it right now, literally right now. That's how you target business owners. That's how you target business owners. Put up a filter of the business owners. You know what I'm saying? You get their name, you get their addresses, you get their phone numbers. Go do drop-bys. You might think it's a cliche. You might think it's like what do you call it, tacky. And it might be old school. I'm not gonna tell you that it's not old school, but it works. You know what I do when I'm gonna drop by businesses like this? I drop by during lunch hour. Because let me ask you guys a question. How many business owners take a lunch every single time? I could tell you, I missed lunch countless of times. So around that lunch period, right, when that stomach starts growling a little bit, right, that's the best time to drop by with a little pastry and a business card. You think, well, that's tacky. Guys, I promise you, those little itty bitty things make a big difference. They make a big difference in building rapport with people. Make a huge difference in building rapport with people. You know what I mean? Stop by a little Spanish bakery. They have those little white boxes. Put 2 or 3 pastries in, and bring 10 boxes with you. Go to 10 businesses. Boom, 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 boom. Reference USA. You don't want to work business owners, but you want to work, retirees, right? Okay, go to the state, right? Who was it that just did this with me earlier this week? Laura Ramirez out in Arizona, right? I showed her. I said, go to the state website. Find the department that handles the pension plan, call them. They will give you a list of all the state employees participating in the pension plan. Every employee, name, address, the balance in their qualified 403B plan, and when their expected retirement date is. They'll send it to you in an Excel spreadsheet. Now start working that list. That list might cost $150, $200. Who cares? It's worth it. You get a huge list of and with the balances. This guy's got 40,000, 60,000, 80,000, 100,000, right? Here's when they're expected to retire. So their expected retirement date is the trigger to let you know that's when they want to start having financial conversations because they're about to retire. That's when they want to know what their options are with that money. Do I keep it with my employer or do I move it to a private pension plan because the private pension plan is offering me more money than the pension is, than the state pension plan is. Right? Caesar just rolled over us. He did $100,000 rollover because the lady was about to retire, and the pension that the state of Illinois was offering is less than the pensions that we have inside of our annuities. So he got the case. It's so simple. Rock that list. You want to work in the business markets with the employees? Okay, go to Google and search all the businesses that are closing their doors. 2021 businesses that are closing. You get a list of company names. When you get that list of company names, open up your Instagram, open up your Facebook, open up your LinkedIn. I would say Facebook and LinkedIn are the top 2 for this. And search people that are employed by those companies that are closing their doors. Simple. You can create filters in that top search bar. You know what I mean? Like, look, 3 years ago, 3 years ago, Toys R Us went under. Toys R Us shut down. Remember that? Big thing. You know how easy it is to go to LinkedIn and type up Toys R Us and then filter people and see all the people that were employed by Toys R Us? All of those people lost their jobs. All of those people need to go and move their 401ks. They need to get new insurances. They need to get it. They need to get it. They need to get it. And guys, I'm not playing. Talk to them about health insurance. You might say to me, well, Tony, I'm only life licensed. I don't have the health side. Do you know how many IULs, life insurances, chronic illness plans I've sold because of a lead that was health insurance based? Because when you talk to a health insurance prospect, they're going to tell you, my budget is $300. I don't want to spend any more than $300. Okay, Mr. Klein, if I could get you covered in every angle with that $300, health insurance, dental insurance, life insurance, chronic illness insurance, I mean, everything within that 300, would that be something that would cause you to take action? Yes, it would. Okay. So then you pop them in and you see what they qualify for with the Affordable Care Act, right? I did this recently. The client got an $800 subsidy monthly from the government based on his income. You know how much his health insurance cost him? Like $4. Like $4. But he gave me a $300 budget. Now I got what? $296 other dollars to play with. Get him a dental plan, another $30. So now I got $266 to play with. Right? Got him from there, I picked up a term policy because of the living benefits to help cover the what? The deductible. That was another $30 a month. And then I sold him a $200 a month IUL. Why? Because of the cash accumulation, the tax-free benefits, the insurance protection, everything. So I stayed within his budget. Why? Because the Affordable Care Act freaking knocked out the price of health insurance down to the floor. So you might think, well, health insurance doesn't pay much. It pays like, $15, $10, whatever a month. If you're right, it's not. But there's a lot more people looking for health insurance than there are a lot of people looking for life insurance. And it just opens up the door for another conversation. Honestly, that's what it does. It opens the door for another conversation. If you notice the last couple of weeks, everything I've been doing, this is like a series, right, of mine that I'm in right now, is really just giving you guys ideas, giving you the shortcuts of what you could do to get into new markets. If I was a brand new agent today, 2021, as I got started, yeah, I mean, oh my God, I got started in 2005, right? When Facebook wasn't anywhere near what it was, where you know, leads were from mailers. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of craziness. Um, you know, the resources that we have today are crazy. I mean, it's crazy. My goals right now, I'll tell you, so you guys know my goals. I'm 37 years old. Next month I'll be 38. My goal is by 50 years of age to be fully retired. And when I say fully retired, I don't ever see myself stopping. Like, I can't be that guy that just, you know, does nothing. I got to do something productive. But I'll tell you this, I don't plan on doing it in the United States. Nah, I want to move somewhere else. I want to move to a tropical place in Costa Rica, Colombia, I don't know. But because of the internet, I can continue to run an insurance agency. As long as I got my cell phone and I got my computer, those are the only two devices that I need. And we're running a multi-million-dollar operation. Guys, you realize from February to now, we've submitted 1.3 million of annual premium. 1.3 million, and 99% of you guys are at home. I'm working from home. I don't need an office. So my business expenses drop down to the floor. My ability to get agents recruited grows like crazy because it's a $0 to come on board, high contract levels, fully independent. We provide leads, exclusive or aged. We have trainings like this, which I might be tooting my own horn, but in my opinion, I think they're pretty valuable when I can give you guys nuggets to get into new markets. 1.2 million in a 6-month window. We've issued close to 680,000 issued placed. That's a strong number. For the first year of an FMO, I think that's pretty legit. In today's world, if I'm a brand new agent, all four of those things I'd be doing like crazy. All four. All four. Age leads, exclusive leads. Bam, done. I'd have a weekly budget, no matter what. A weekly budget, a weekly budget, a weekly. I don't care if I got an Uber to make the money to buy the leads. Uber to make the money to buy the lead. Not Uber to make the money to pay a bill. No, Uber to make the money to buy the leads. Because those leads flip into, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars, not hundreds of dollars, but thousands. I'd be doing those two. I'd be doing those two. Like crazy, I'd be doing those two. I'd go to networking events because that gets me out of the house, shakes hands. And then I'd be online, you know, leveraging some of the social media tips that I've given you guys. Businesses that are closing down, there you go. Reference USA to target certain businesses, there you go. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be doing that like crazy right now, guys. Like crazy. My business, your responsibility is to present your product to as many people as you can. That's your responsibility. And every day that you don't present your product is a day that you are unemployed and unable to collect an unemployment check. Listen to what I just said there. Every day you're not presenting your product is a day that you're unemployed and unable to collect an unemployment check. It's truth. So are you presenting your product to enough people? Right? If I added a fifth, I would add a fifth. And to be honest with you, the fifth should be number one. It would be recruiting. Right now, my book of business this year for my personal business, my personal practice has been a combination of leads between agent exclusive and recruiting. Those two. Recruiting has kept me so stinking busy. Recruiting has kept me so, look, I'm going to look through right now the list of people. Watch this, watch this. I look through the people that are on right now through training. And I'll tell you which people I've done joint work with. Intellectual property, the ability to know how to write business, and an agent needing your assistance to learn how to write that business, right? I'll look through the list right now. Look, Rubiel and I have done joint work. Rubiel has an agency that he's recruited that I've done joint work with, right? Irvin Bergs, we've done joint work. Puebli, we've done joint work. Frank, we've done joint work. Howard, we've done joint work. Jimmy Garcia and I have gone on joint work. We haven't closed on anything, but we've done joint work. George, just 2 days ago, had a joint work appointment for us to go do that we scheduled. Karen and I have done joint work. Let me see here. Tanisha and I just opened up a case last week, which, just so you know, Tanisha, I still drip on the guy, talk to the guy. He's still waiting to talk to his insurance agent to make a move, but I'm pretty sure he'll take him. I'm pretty sure he'll take action. I'm pretty sure he'll take action. So look at the list of people that are on right now. More than 60% of them I've done joint work cases with, meaning they have an opportunity, they have a meeting, they want to make money, but they need some assistance in learning how to close the business, so they bring me on to the case. You can't tell me recruiting doesn't bring in income. It brings in override income, it brings in passive income, and it brings immediate income. It brings all of them. It brings all of them. Every last one of them, it brings it. It brings it. What I'm looking for, I'll tell you, is this. I'm looking to see which one of you guys is going to step up to the plate and say, I want to be the next certified trainer. I want to get trained. I want to be needed. I want to recruit an agency and be needed. Because every single time I recruit somebody that buys leads, that doesn't know how to work the leads, I get to go to the cases with them and work the business with them. And we get to split commissions. We get split commissions. That and leads. So if I'm a brand new agent in today's world, those are the 5 things I'm doing. 5. I'm constantly recruiting. Constantly recruiting. How do I recruit? Social media. I recruit social media. I post and post and post my lifestyle. I post about entrepreneurship, capitalism. I post about success, growth, independence, freedom. I post. People always get curious. What are you up to, bro? What are you doing? And I'm always adding new people, because I gotta clear out my audience that hasn't taken action, that's sick and tired of seeing me post about capitalism, and boom, add new people to the mix. My topic stays the same. It's new to them because it's a new person. Those are the 5 things that I'm doing. I mean, I'm living, I'm walking, talking, breathing those 5 things. That's it. I get my family involved. You know what I mean? Make it a game. Like, it's summertime right now. Get your teenagers, make it a game with them. Go find some kid expos, some kid, things to go do. You know what you're gonna find? Parents to go talk to. Parents to go shake their hand. And I'll close it off with this, because we have a corporate overview in the next 3 minutes to do. And I don't know if there's any guests on or not, but I think somebody literally just added somebody in like a minute ago. I'll close it with this. If you become the person that is too shy to shake a hand of a stranger, this might not be what you want to hear, but it's the truth. If you're too shy to shake the hand of a stranger, this business is not for you. It's just not. It's honestly, it's just not. When I first met Sandra, she looked at it as so crazy, because it's in my DNA. It's like, it's down. I don't know how to not turn that off. I had to learn that, by the way. I was really shy when I first got into this business, very intimidated by this business. I'm in a predominantly Caucasian community, predominantly baby boomer community. I'm in my 20s. I'm a Latino, dark kid, light-skinned, short kid. And I'm here shaking hands with some people that are making more money in 1 year than my family ever made in 10. Very intimidating. But when she first met me, when Sandra met me, and she sees that I'm social, I talk to the server, I talk to the general manager at the restaurant that we went to, I talk to this guy, how you doing? How, and man, you're a social butterfly. I says, yes, and that pays me millions. And it's the truth. The biggest resource that we all have, guys, is people. People are your biggest resource. Your network becomes your net worth. It's true. I never believed that statement. I never believed that statement more than I believe it now. Your network becomes your net worth. And in this last minute that I have here, I'm going to tell you guys right now, jot this date down. Jot this date down. And it's a Monday general training. It's not this coming Monday, but next Monday, the 12th. Next Monday, the 12th. Next Monday, the 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'm doing a training. I'm not doing a training. A special guest is doing the training. We're going to be talking about this new investment that's coming out, an investment that's going to pay 15 to 20% to your client within the first year. An investment that only requires $20,000 to go in, and an investment that's going to pay out to you like an oversized annuity. I'm going to show you that, because you're going to come across people with lump sum money that they want to invest, but they don't want to go into an annuity because of the time that they have to keep the money in there, that length of time. So I'm going to show you an investment that you could do for the person that wants to make a return within a year, 2 years, tax benefits, 15 to 20% return that pays you out like an overinflated annuity. And here's another thing, you don't need a license for it. You want to be on that training. You want to get your team on that training. Trust me, you want to get on that training. I'm going to let you guys get going. It was a pleasure talking to you guys today. If you have any questions, because I'm hopping off right away and getting into the BLM, if you have any questions, hit it up on the chat box on Voxer. Okay, but I would like your 2 takeaways. Give me your 2 takeaways from, on Voxer. Tell me what you learned about today. Okay, please do that. Our next corporate overview is this coming Tuesday. This coming Tuesday at 8 p.m. We're doing another corporate overview for recruiting. I'm only doing 2 a month, today's and next Tuesday. So take advantage of it and build yourself an agency and start making some residual income and start becoming a valuable field trainer with people to train. Have a good one. Be blessed. Enjoy your 4th of July. No meetings on Monday. It's 4th of July weekend. So no full-timers, no Monday night meeting, none of that stuff. Enjoy the weekend. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.